In what can only be described as the most scandalous twist of the year, rising star Su Kai has been secretly married to his former flame, who happens to be the ex-girlfriend of powerful producer Yu Zheng, all while publicly dating popular actress Xi Lisha. The entertainment industry is reeling from this explosive revelation that threatens to destroy careers, end friendships, and shatter the carefully constructed public images of some of China's biggest stars. But wait, it gets even more twisted than you could possibly imagine. Sources close to the situation reveal that this isn't just a simple case of infidelity. The secret marriage allegedly took place over 18 months ago in a private ceremony attended by only a handful of close friends, with the bride wearing a stunning vintage Chanel gown that cost more than most people's annual salary. The couple reportedly exchanged vows under the cover of darkness at an exclusive resort in the Maldives, with guests required to surrender their phones and sign strict non-disclosure agreements. What makes this story even more jaw-dropping is that Su Kai began his highly publicized relationship with Xi Lisha just 3 months after his secret wedding, leading fans to question everything they thought they knew about their favorite celebrities. The timing of this revelation couldn't be more devastating for all parties involved, and the fallout is already beginning to tear apart long-standing relationships in the industry. Yu Zheng, known for his iron grip on the entertainment business and his notoriously vengeful nature, has reportedly been blindsided by the news that his former romantic partner, let's call her Miss L, to protect what's left of her privacy, has been secretly married to one of his most promising protégés. Industry insiders are whispering that Yu Zheng feels utterly betrayed, not just by his ex-girlfriend's deception, but by Su Kai's calculated manipulation of the situation. The producer had been instrumental in launching Su Kai's career, handpicking him for several high-profile projects and treating him almost like a son. Now, sources say Yu Zheng is considering pulling all of his support from Su Kai's upcoming projects, which could effectively end the young actor's promising career before it truly begins. The story begins to unravel when we examine the complex web of relationships that led to this moment. Su Kai and Miss L first met at a charity gala 3 years ago, where she was attending as Yu Zheng's date. According to witnesses from that evening, the chemistry between Su Kai and Miss L was immediately apparent, with several guests commenting on the way they kept stealing glances at each other across the crowded ballroom. However, Miss L was firmly committed to her relationship with Yu Zheng at the time, and Su Kai was still struggling to make a name for himself in the competitive entertainment industry. Their paths crossed again 6 months later at a film premiere, where Miss L was once again accompanying Yu Zheng. This time, however, cracks were beginning to show in her relationship with the powerful producer. Friends close to Miss L reveal that she had grown increasingly frustrated with Yu Zheng's controlling nature and his tendency to make all decisions about her career without consulting her. She felt more like a beautiful accessory than a partner, and she began to question whether their relationship had any real substance beyond the professional benefits it provided. The turning point came during the filming of Palace of Eternal Youth, a period drama that Yu Zheng was producing, and in which Su Kai had landed a supporting role. Miss L was visiting the set regularly, ostensibly to support Yu Zheng's work, but cast members noticed that she spent most of her time talking with Su Kai between takes. The two would disappear for long walks around the historic filming locations, and their conversation seemed to grow more intimate with each passing day. What nobody knew at the time was that Miss L and Yu Zheng were going through a particularly rough patch in their relationship. The producer had been increasingly focused on expanding his business empire, often leaving Miss L alone for weeks at a time while he traveled to secure new deals and scout locations. She felt neglected and unappreciated, and she began to confide her frustrations to Su Kai, who proved to be an attentive and sympathetic listener. The emotional affair quickly blossomed into something more serious. By the time filming wrapped, Miss L had made the difficult decision to end her relationship with Yu Zheng. However, she was terrified of the potential consequences, knowing that Yu Zheng had the power to destroy her career with a single phone call. She had seen what happened to other actresses who had crossed him in the past, and she knew that leaving him would likely mean giving up her dreams of stardom. Su Kai, however, was determined to be with her regardless of the professional risks. He had fallen deeply in love with Miss L, and he was willing to sacrifice his own career if necessary to protect her from Yu Zheng's potential wrath. The couple began meeting in secret, using elaborate disguises and constantly changing their meeting locations to avoid detection by the ever-present paparazzi and industry gossips. Their secret relationship continued for nearly 8 months before Miss L finally found the courage to break up with Yu Zheng. The producer was reportedly devastated by the breakup, having genuinely believed that they had a future together. He had even been considering proposing to Miss L, and had begun looking at engagement rings during his travels. However, Miss L never revealed the true reason for their breakup, allowing Yu Zheng to believe that she simply wasn't ready for such a serious commitment. What Yu Zheng didn't know was that Miss L and Sukai were already planning their wedding. The couple had decided that they wanted to marry quickly and quietly, away from the prying eyes of the entertainment industry. They chose the Maldives as their destination, believing that the remote location would provide them with the privacy they desperately needed. The wedding itself was a small but elegant affair. Miss L wore a vintage Chanel gown that had once belonged to a famous Hollywood actress from the 1950s. Sukai looked dashing in a custom-tailored tuxedo, and the couple exchanged vows on a private beach as the sun set over the Indian Ocean. Only 12 guests were in attendance, including Sukai's parents and Miss L's sister, all of whom had sworn to keep the ceremony a secret. The newlyweds spent their honeymoon exploring the pristine islands and enjoying their first few days as husband and wife. However, they both knew that returning to China would mean resuming their charade and continuing to pretend that they were nothing more than casual friends. They had already decided that they would need to maintain their secret for at least a year, giving Miss L time to establish her career independently of Yu Zheng's influence. The plan might have worked if not for Sukai's unexpected rise to fame. His breakthrough role in Moonlight Romance catapulted him into the spotlight, and suddenly every aspect of his personal life became a subject of intense public interest. Fans began speculating about his relationship status, and entertainment reporters started following his every move in hopes of uncovering details about his romantic life. It was during this period of intense scrutiny that Sukai's management team made the fateful decision to arrange a publicity relationship with Xi Lisha. The actress was also experiencing a surge in popularity following her starring role in Campus Sweethearts, and her team believed that a romantic storyline with Sukai would benefit both of their careers. Initially, the arrangement was supposed to be purely professional. The two would attend events together, pose for romantic photos, and give interviews about their relationship to keep the public interested. However, what nobody anticipated was that Xi Lisha would develop real feelings for Sukai during their fake courtship. Xi Lisha had always been a romantic at heart, and she found herself genuinely attracted to Sukai's charm and good looks. She began to believe that their pretend relationship could eventually become something real, and she started pushing for more private time together outside of their scheduled public appearances. Sukai found himself in an impossible situation. He couldn't reveal his marriage to Miss L without destroying both of their careers, but he also couldn't reciprocate Xi Lisha's genuine feelings without betraying his wife. He tried to maintain professional boundaries while still fulfilling his contractual obligations, but Xi Lisha interpreted his reserved behavior as playing hard to get. The situation became even more complicated when Xi Lisha began making public statements about their relationship that went far beyond what had been agreed upon in their contracts. She started referring to Sukai as the love of her life in interviews and began hinting at possible future wedding plans. Her fans embraced the romantic narrative, and the couple quickly became one of the most beloved pairs in the entertainment industry. Meanwhile, Miss L was watching from the sidelines as her husband played the role of devoted boyfriend to another woman. Despite understanding the professional necessity of the arrangement, she couldn't help but feel hurt and jealous when she saw photos of Sukai and Xi Lisha looking happy together at various events. The strain of maintaining their secret began to take a toll on their marriage, and the couple found themselves arguing more frequently about the future of their relationship.